Alright, what's up everybody? I'm Obscure Ghost. In today's video, I'll be showing you every single Halloween item inside of Roblox Storyverse 2 Spooky Hollow 2023. So if you guys are hyped, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and that notification bell. I'm Obscure Ghost, and let's get started. Alright, so our first item we will be going over is gonna be the Doomsday Clock. Now, the Doomsday Clock is a one-hand sword, and it is level 25 at a damage of 315 when clean. So, this is dropped by the Abyssal Spider. It is a common, and it is pretty nice. So, onto the next weapon. Alright, so right here we got Lunar Eclipse, I believe. Yeah, Lunar Eclipse. It is a level 50 uncommon that has a damage of 524 and -3 stamina, -3 health regen, and it is dropped by the dark spirits. So yeah, onto the next one. So right here we have the weapon called Excommunicator. Now it is a uh Great Sword at level 58 uncommon with a base damage of 638 and 5% health regen, and here is what it looks like. And it looks like it's made out of all bones, so that's pretty cool. And it is dropped by the Decayed Warrior. So let's go on to the next one. Alright, so right here we have a greatsword level 70. Its name is Vampire Vanquisher, and it has a base damage of 900 and -2 health regen, 3% stamina regen. And it is dropped by the Rotten Brutes. And here's what it looks like. And it looks like it has a mummy handle, which is super nice. So yeah, let's go on to the next one. So here we have two variants of swords. We have Vengeful Spirit and Vengeful Spirit and Devouring Spirit. Both of them have a base damage of 1,250 at a level 85, and both of them have a stamina and health regen of 5%. Now, this is a retexture of the Rendering Spirit, which the Rendering Spirit was a katana of last year, and yeah, that's a fun fact. But Vengeful is red, Devouring is blue, and it's pretty nice. So let's go on to our next one. Oh yeah, real quick, I forgot to say that these spirits are dropped from the Crumbling Gargoyle. So let's go on to our next weapon. So here we have the weapon called Azurite Apparition. It is a level 100 longsword, and it has a base damage of 1500, stamina regen of 11%, and health regen of 2%. Now, that's pretty cool, especially since it's blue and is in the shape of a bat, so that's pretty nice. And you can get this from the Cursed Giant. So now let's go on to the armors. Before we move on to the armors, I did forget one weapon, and that is going to be the Verdant Soul. Now, the Verdant Soul does come from the Rotten Brute, and it is a 9 spear, 900, 4% health and stamina regen, and it is in the shape of a halberd, which is super clean. So let's go ahead and get to the armors. Alright, so our first armor is going to be the Jacko Plate Mail. And the Jacko Plate Mail is a level 100 rare armor with a defense of 13,000, a health regen of 10%, and a stamina regen of 5%. Now it does look like the legendary Chaos Plate Mail a little bit, and it is super nice. So let's go on to our next one, and our next one is gonna be the Vampire Q, and Vampire Q is gonna be this armor, which is red, looks pretty cool, and Vampire Q is a level 250 legendary with a defense of 275,555 and a health regen of 18% and a stamina regen of 6%. So now let's go on to the shields. Alright, so right here we have our first shield. It is dropped by Dracula, and Dracula, it is a 1 in 400 chance to get, and it is a level 200 legendary shield with a defense of 26,550 and 15% stamina regen, -7 health regen, and these are pretty nice. It looks like it's in the shape of a tombstone or a guitar if you want to think of it that way, and yeah. So here's what it looks like. So here we have the shield called Medusa, and it is a level 250 shield with a defense of 40,000, and it is a -7 stamina regen and a health regen of 15%. And you can get it from the Headless Horseman at a 1 in 1,000 chance. So that is super cool, and it's in the shape of and it has a face on it, which is very nice. So let's go on to our next item, and our next item is also a legendary, but also an accessory. Alright, so our next item we have here is going to be the Dracula cape. You can get it from the Vampiric Bats at a 1,176 chance, and it is a level 100 legendary with a defense of 0, but a stamina regen of 30% and a health regen of 50%, and that's super nice, especially since it's an accessory. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So now let's get into what you all are here for, and that is gonna be the legendaries. Let's go. So I'm gonna start off with mini bosses for this one. So I'll be going over the Wendigo, Enraged Wendigo first, and then I'll be talking about the Dracula, and then I will be going over Headless Horseman. So bear with me on that. Alright, so these are gonna be these are Tsukuyomi, and it is a level 200 that is dropped by the Enraged Wendigo, and it does a base of 8,000 damage, 16,000 when it's plus 20, and it also is and it has it has 8% health and stamina regen, and here's what it looks like. Now it looks like it has carved bones, so that is pretty cool. And then let's go on to... Okay, so here we have Death's Maelstrom. Now it is a dual. Now it is a spear, and this is the first scythe in game to have a double side. So that is a very fun fact for you. It is dropped by the Wendigo, and it has a damage of 8,000 when clean and 16,000 when maxed, and it provides 8% health and stamina regen. So this is super cool. And fun fact, it used to be made into a longsword, but the devs fixed that. So yeah. Let's go on to Galric. Alright, so here we have Galric, and Galric is a legendary two-hand dropped by the Wendigo at a 400% chance, and I mean, 1 in 400, my bad. It looks like it is made out of wood, and it gives a 8% health and 4% stamina regen when it is used, and it is super nice. It looks like it is a wooden axe with a pike as a handle or something. So yeah, let's go on to Phantom Zephyr. Alright, so here, this is Phantom Zephyr, and it is a spear if you can't tell already. And it is a pink and blue neon spear. It is dropped by the Wendigo, and it is a level 250 with a damage of 13,570 when clean, and a max damage of 27,140. So that is going to be that, and it is a 1 in 1,000 drop chance, making this the rarest item you can get from Wendigo. So let's go on to the Dracula drops, and the Dracula drop does drop this armor at a 1 in 1,000, which I did show earlier. So let's see all that Dracula drops. Alright, so on screen right here we have the legendary Blood Quench. It is dropped from Dracula at a 1 in 400 drop chance, and it is a katana. It does 8,000 base damage, 16,000 when maxed, and it does 5% health and stamina regen. So it is a nice plain red katana, pretty cool, and it is dropped by Dracula. So up next we have the Batwing, and let's go ahead and show you all the Batwing. Alright, so on screen we have the Batwing drop. It is dropped by the Dracula, and it has a base damage of 8,000, 16,000 when maxed, and it gives a 8% health and 5% stamina regen. And it is a 1 in 400, and it is a rapier if you couldn't tell. And it has a pink outline with, yeah, with black. So it is a pink and black weapon, almost like Blackout, and that is super nice. So let's go on to the next drop, which you guys have already seen, but the next drop is supposed to be Tombow, which I did show Tombow earlier because that is the shield. So you can go back and see that if you missed it. And then up next we do have the armor, which is the armor I'm wearing, which I did show you earlier. So up next we have our last Dracula drop is actually going to be the skill. And this is going to be the skill. The skill is called Vampiric Rampage. It is a 1 in 1,000 drop chance, and when you use it, so let's go ahead and show you guys it. It does some cool effects, and it moves you super fast, as you can see, and yeah, it kind of replaces the speed glitch almost. And it does attack as well on tick, so that is super nice. So yeah. So up next, let's go on to, not Dracula, Headless Horseman. So here we are on the Headless Horseman drops, and our first Headless Horseman drop is gonna be the Brutal Chopper. So it is a legendary 250 with a 1,000 drop chance, and it is a One-handed, it does 13,570 damage at base and 27,140 damage at max, and it gives the player 15% health and negative 4% stamina regen. And it looks like it is one of those knives that the butchers use in like a deli or something. I'll throw it up on screen, but um yeah, it looks like it's one of those. So that is super cool. And then it looks like it's also rusted out, so that is super nice and stained. So up next we have the Blood Terror, and honestly, Blood Terror has to be my favorite. Let's go. Alright, so here we have Blood Terror. Now, Blood Terror is a legendary 250 scythe dropped by Headless Horseman. At base, it does 13,570, and it gives the user 17% health and negative 5% stamina regen, and it's in the shape of a bat. So that is super cool. And yeah, it's super nice. You should definitely try getting your hands on this. So up next we have Chisu Makuri Muramasa, and that is a katana. So let's go ahead and show you guys. Alright, so here we have Muramasa, and I'm just gonna call it that. Muramasa is a legendary. So as I was saying, this katana is a level 250 by Headless Horseman, 13,570 when clean, 27,140 when maxed, and um, it is it gives the player 10% health and stamina regen. Now, personally, I don't really like this katana much, but if you look right here and zoom in all the way, you will notice that it has like a little Oni samurai kind of uh face on it. So that is super cool. That is a nice detail. And on to the last one, we have Devil's Advocate. Here we have Devil's Advocate. Now, Devil's Advocate is a rapier, and gives a 3% health and 22% stamina regen. Now, honestly, I don't like this rapier at all, but it's still a collection, so yeah, I got no words for this one. But up next, I'll show you guys the rarest things and the rarest item in the Halloween event, and let's go ahead and show you that. All right, so on my screen we have two items. These are the rarest items, jack-o'-lanterns. So this is the hip jack-o'-lantern, and just know on the stats are reversed on each of them, so you can get that from the shop. However, the shop is currently bugged, so only some players can get it. And this is the hanging jack-o'-lantern. So yeah, and as you can see, it doesn't produce much light, but I still find it a cool item. But yeah, that's gonna be it. While this rotten brute chases me, um, hopefully you guys like and subscribe, and yeah, otherwise this rotten brute that is currently chasing me will come after you. But yeah, peace out.